class examples. Calculated in degrees the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a polygon with 9 sides. So the sum of the measures of the interior angles is 180 times n minus 2. How many sides does this figure have?
9 sides.
9 sides, so n would be equal to 9. What is 9 minus 2? So 180 times 7 equals what? Okay. Class example number 2 says determine the number of sides of a polygon that the interior angle sum equals 4,140. So this works backwards. 4,140 equals 180 times what minus 2? So I want to get the n by itself. I always work from the outside in. I need to get rid of 180. How do I do that? Divide, because I'm multiplying, so I do the opposite. So what is 4140 divided by 180?
23.
So I get 23 equals n minus 2. How do I get rid of the negative 2? And what's 23 plus 2? So I get 25 sides. A 25-sided figure will have a sum of 4,140. Class example number 3 says determine the number of sides of a regular polygon whose interior angle measures 170 degrees. So if I looked on the previous page, those were some of those other formulas. And that one formula was the 180 minus 360 divided by n. That was what I could use to find the interior angle measurement. But I'm given the interior angle measurement. I'm told that that equals 170. So to solve this, we're going to do something a little bit different that I don't think I've shown you before. I don't like working with negatives because when you work with negatives, you tend to make mistakes. This I look at as being a negative. So I'm going to take this negative 360 over n and move it to the other side. Because if it's negative on this side, it's going to be positive on the other side. The same thing as what happened up here above. This was negative over here, it's positive over there. If I take the 170 and move it to the other side, I'll get a negative 170. So I get 180 minus 170, which is equal to what? 10. And I get 360 over n. To get rid of the n on the bottom, I have to multiply both sides by n. Or I can look at it as cross multiplying. So I get 10 times n equals 360. Divide both sides by 10, and what does n equal?
36.
So 36 sides. A 36-sided figure will have an interior angle of 170 degrees for each side. 4 says determine the number of sides of a regular polygon whose exterior angle measures 60 degrees. So that formula was the 360 divided by n. And that was also on the previous page. So the 360 divided by n this time equals 60. So if I multiply both sides by n, I bring the n from being at the bottom on one side to the top on the other side. And then I can divide both sides by 60. And And what is 360 divided by 60? 6. So I get 6 sides. Class example number 5 is the one that you'll probably see more commonly, and that's to determine the values of x and a in these diagrams. So let's start off with a. How many sides is this polygon? 6. So I can find out the sum of the interior. That's the first thing I'm going to need. The sum of the interior. And that becomes 180 times 6 minus 2. 6 sides. 6 minus 2 is 4 times 180. 720. So now that I know the sum, I can write it out as 720 degrees has to equal all of this. So x plus 110, 120, 125, 115, and 130. So I've got 10, 30, 55, 60, 70, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So then subtract 600 on both sides, and x will equal 120 degrees. How many sides for B? 5 sides. So then the sum would be 180 times 5 minus 2, which equals what? So then 540 degrees would equal 3a plus a plus 12 plus 3a minus 40 plus 2a plus this. How do I figure out what that is? I'm going to call it B for now. How would I figure out B? Because if I put B in here, I'm not going to be able to solve it because I don't have a way of solving for 2 variables.
What could be?
What could I do?
Find out the exterior angle.
Well, I have the exterior angle. It's a plus 20. Well, what do I know about these 2 angles together? Equals 180. So a plus 20 plus this b, we're going to call it b, equals 180. So then if I want to get b by itself, I have to subtract the a and subtract the 20. So what's 180 minus 20?
160.
So there's my b value. So now instead of having b, I can write in 160 minus 8. So plus 160 minus 8. So let's collect all my a's. I have 3 a's plus 1 a is 4 plus 3. 7 a's plus 2 a's, 9 a's minus an a, 8. So I have 8 a's. 12 minus 40, negative 28, right? Plus 160. 132? So subtract by 132 on each side, and what do I get?
Get the 1 and the 2 right.
Divide by 8. So A is equal to 51 degrees. I don't need to calculate everything else, I just need to find out what A was. So your questions, question number 3, 4A and C, 6A, and 7 to 10.